Now, as the stalemate between doctors and the government continue, I'm now joined by KMPDU Secretary General Davji Atellah via phone. Good evening. I hope you can hear me. Perhaps if you can tell us what is the dispute about and why did you storm out and fail to sign the return to work to formula yesterday?
Yeah, thank you so much. I can hear you very clearly. We actually did not storm out. We went into the meeting with a hope that we will have to discuss the few issues that were pending from the earlier discussions, because we had been having discussion previously, which then stopped on the 23rd of April 2024. Basically, the issues that were pending was the matter of doctors' interns being posted as per our collective bargaining agreement, to which there are two positions for the government and for KMPDU. We were demanding for them to be posted immediately in compliance with the collective bargaining agreement. And then also the other issues that we had discussed, they did not have timelines. For example, the provision of the medical insurance for the doctors, it was just left that the government would implement it, so they didn't give timelines to it. So we know that if those are not given timelines, then it can take 3-4 years not being done. The issues of payment of the basic salary arrears, they're not given timelines. They just say that the county government say that they will pay subject to receiving funds from national. And this has not been paid for 7 years. So there's a possibility of them not being paid for the next 10 years. So we were demanding that these things be put with timelines so that we can sign a return to work formula that is actually implementable. But the government sides were giving the decision that that particular draft return to work formula, the way it was incomplete, had to be signed like that. And they insisted that they cannot change a dot or a comma on it. So with that respect, it was impossible for us to have any concurrence and sign an agreement. And then they insisted that they will then sign it at that point. Because we asked them, can we have then engagement yesterday night, Saturday and Sunday, and then sign it on Monday by 10 a.m.? They said no. Then they will sign it and then deposit it to court. So it was more of doing the meetings to comply to courts than doing the meetings to resolve the issues that are pending. Yes.
All right, Atellah, when we speak about, one of your concerns is on posting of interns.
Yes.
Now, the government has drafted the internship draft policy, which is more like a guide on posting interns. Were you part of the stakeholders involved in the formulation of the policy? And what's your thought on it?
The current policy that they're putting in place is actually illegal in the sense that it doesn't comply with the existing CBA. It even violates the Constitution. So we have taken it to court, and so far I think the process has been stopped. And therefore, we as a union, as stakeholders, were not engaged completely. They just unilaterally decided to create an internship policy that reduces the wages of interns in contraventions of the existing CBA. At the same time, making the interns who are actually doctors not to be part of trade union or engage in any trade union activity, which in essence contravenes Article 41 of the Constitution. So we were not partly consulted. It has been made unilaterally, but the aim is to more punish the doctors.
All right, now the strike is almost 2 months in. The pressing issue that you have said is that the timelines are not effective. That is why you did not sign that particular, the signing yesterday. While the government also says that your side is non-committal and there is a split in the union. Is there something like that from your union?
These are rumors, because we came yesterday in that meeting with all the National Advisory Council, 36 of us in that meeting. I am the spokesperson of the union, and I was presenting our stand on these things. I'm the one who was speaking, together with my chairperson. We explained what ought to be done, or what we need to make happen so that we do not have to go back and consult any person and just sign the return to work agreement. But to them, they say they cannot change anything in this particular document that we had voted down against. That's one thing. So the second thing that must come out very clearly is that they refused to have a discussion at all on the issue of internship. Yet court gave us a leeway to discuss it. So with them not wanting to discuss anything regarding that draft incomplete return to work formula, there was no way we could proceed. It is a unanimous decision of our National Advisory Council when you are coming to this meeting to highlight, to resolve, to have a discussion with them on these things, because we came with a return to work formula that we had edited, that was capturing everything the way we wanted, including the timelines, which they refused to even acknowledge. So sometimes when the government or propagandists want to distract things, they'll think about the union leadership. We are in one unison and in one direction. Yes.
Now, the government has threatened to actually, lay off the doctors that are involved in the ongoing strike. From your union, have any doctors been, Have they received any letters of dismissal?
So far, the person who has been dismissed from this ongoing strike is my deputy, Dr. Eden Miskela. And the rest have got so-called letters and suspension letters, which contravenes against the same court that they're running to, because the court had given the clause of non-victimization. And I'd also ask that we do the minimum services, which actually happening in some of the hospitals based on the few numbers of doctors that we provided. Again, we ask the counties that have the chief officers, the CECs, and the medical superintendent as managers to also do the minimum services. One thing we must come out very clearly, and they must be knowing this, that these tactics of threats, victimization, intimidation will not solve these problems. These things are existing, and doctors are frustrated because the non-committal of the government to resolve this. So we have said it before that there's no amount of threats other than sitting down and resolving these things that will make doctors go back to work. So they have to take that seriously, because that is the stand. They started this threats the first day we started the strike, and now we are in month 2. It means that they have no regard to the suffering of Kenyans. And that's why yesterday we did not come as 1 or 2 people. We came as our all 36 NAC to sit, because government always have 50, 60 people in these particular meetings. And we had one resolve that we want to end the strike. We want Kenyans to get the health care. But we saw it flat-foot. The government was not interested in resolving the strike. They were interested more in doing coercion, more threats, and not really discuss matters that actually are going to resolve the strike.
Atellah, before letting you go, what's the way forward? Is the strike still on? Remember, Kenyans are the ones who are suffering at the end of the day.
Tomorrow as KMPDU, we are going to sign our return to work agreement. Then we leave the page for the government side to sign if they wish to end the strike, and if they don't wish to end the strike continues. So if they sign it tomorrow evening, the strike will end. If they sign it after 1 month, the strike will end that time. If they sign it after 1 year, then it's the time. Because government has been on strike, and they indicate that whenever they come to us in this particular engagement. And sometimes when they show so much impunity, we have to resist it in all the way that is possible.
All right. Thank you, Atellah, for that. That is Davji Atellah, KMPDU Secretary General, saying the reason as to why they did not sign the return to work formula is because there were no timelines to meeting the demands that they had put up.